And they're off and racing for our opening race this afternoon. This Ascot Racecourse Support Schools Poetry Competition Novices Hurdle. It's over the best part of 2.5 miles and 10 flights to take. Attacker is taking them along and skipped over the first flight with a lead of about 5 lengths there. Illico Dollivarte in the sheepskin noseband is leading the chasing pack ahead of Springwell Bay. The big reveal in the orange and red colours. Persian Time held up. And then Townhill on the outside. Marty Bird, the one that brings up the rear as the runners continue down the side of the course. Attacker living up to his name here, taking the race by the scruff of the neck as they come round towards the home straight for the first time in this £25,000 race. Nico de Boinville on Attacker, leading by 3 lengths then. Illico Dollivarte and Harry Cobden racing in second as they turn up towards the third and fourth flight. Springwell Bay is close in third for Johns Jr. The big reveal on the right in the orange and red alongside Persian Time. At the back of the field, Marty Bird and Townhill together as the runners come up the straight. What looks to be a pretty reasonable pace here being set by Attacker. Here's the fourth flight, ears pricked, beautiful jump by the leader. They're all over it safely. And there's probably about 8 lengths then between them as they come up towards the enclosures, with Attacker out in front, leading by just over 2 lengths. Illico Dollivarte in the pink jacket, just ahead of Springwell Bay. Then a length down in fourth, Persian Time. The big reveal flanking him on the outside, 2 lengths away to Marty Bird. And Townhill's been dropped to last place now on his hurdling debut. Ben Sutton riding in his father's colours as they move away down the far side of the racecourse, down the hill towards flights 5 and 6 here. Attacker's in a good rhythm. What a rangy type. Jumped it really neatly there, very nimble over his hurdles by 2 lengths. Illico Dollivarte, Springwell Bay in second and third, as they have been virtually throughout. Persian Time a little bit closer now. Maroon cap on the outside, Marty Bird the big reveal. And then Townhill. Downhill flight number 6, all safely over. They're all jumping nicely, and they move down the hill now and race towards Swinley Bottom with Attacker out in front. 2 out of 2 over hurdles so far at Kempton and Cheltenham, with Illico Dollivarte still holding on to second place ahead of Springwell Bay. Persian Time quietly ridden there by Adrian Heskin, just ahead of Marty Bird, who's improved a bit now, 4th and 5th. The big reveal just dropped off the main group as they move inside the final mile of the contest, well inside the final mile of the contest, just over 6.5 furlongs left to travel now, and Townhill still at the rear. Pressing on he is, Attacker, as they go down towards the 4th last here. Again, he was good. He's very quick, led by 3, but all the other horses jumping and travelling nicely behind him. Illico Dollivarte still has the leader in his sights. Springwell Bay likewise. Slightly slower there, Springwell Bay arguably. Persian Time is still threatening. Marty Bird is clinging onto them as well. And now they've got quite a run before they get to the last 2 flights here. And just beginning to close up on the leader. Springwell Bay is pressing Illico Dollivarte for second, and Persian Time is hot on the heels of these two behind as they stalk Attacker into the home straight now. So lining up then inside the final 2.5 furlongs now. Attacker the leader, but Springwell Bay is going well for John on the outside, closing to within half a length up the inside. Illico Dollivarte and Persian Time every chance over 2 out. Attacker still with a slender advantage, and now for the first time Springwell Bay begins to show his head in front between the last 2 flights here. Persian Time hasn't quite picked up back in third. Here's one more flight for Springwell Bay, and he jumped it really nicely, and he's scampering clear here by about 4 or 5 lengths, and John Joe's not being serious on him by any stretch of the imagination. And Springwell Bay for the John Joe O'Neill team comes home to win in ready fashion. Looks like a nice stare in the making. Persian Time just edging out his stablemate Attacker for second, and then back in fourth, Illico Dollivarte. They're often racing for the Bateaux London Reynoldstown Novices Chasers Grade 2 event. Over 3 miles, 20 fences, Bold Endeavour taking them down the hill towards the first fence, and they all jumped it safely. Kinondo Quetu in the green jacket in second. Alongside him, Oscar Elite in the orange colours. They're heading down the hill here in the first part of the contest, all safely over the second fence. And the next one will be an open ditch, number 3. A couple of open ditches on the circuit here at Ascot. Nico de Boinville on Bold Endeavour, moving down towards this open ditch, which they gave plenty of respect to and jumped it beautifully. The white face of Oscar Elite on the outside there, just shading it for second at the moment as they get down towards the fourth fence. Kinondo Quetu on the inside. Close up in third, in the hands of Jonathan England here as they reach Swinley bottom for the first time. Bold Endeavour striding out by 2 lengths. He's won his last 2 starts over a shorter trip than this, but clearly Nico's got no qualms at all about going up in trip today. And they turn the corner and now face the uphill section of the track. Fence number 5 coming up to them next. Bold Endeavour from Oscar Elite coming up towards this plain fence. Kinondo Quetu, unbeaten in 5 chase starts, just watching on in third place. Another plain one coming towards them now. All 3 of them good. Slightly reach for it there, Kinondo Quetu. And the 7th fence is an open ditch. Third one on this part of the course. Bold Endeavour met that on a good stride. Oscar Elite 2 lengths behind him and a similar gap away then. In fact, closing up a bit now on the inside is Kinondo Quetu, the last fence on this part of the course, which they took comfortably, and now they're about to come round to the home straight for the first time in the Bateaux London Reynoldstown Novices Chase. Bold Endeavour, the odds-on favourite, striding out by 3 lengths then. The other 2 are pretty inseparable at the moment. Oscar Elite's white face on the outside of Kinondo Quetu, who every time he's raced over fences, whether it be in point-to-points or under rules, he's unbeaten. 5 out of 5 under rules, 2 out of 2 in points. So they jumped that first in the home straight comfortably enough, and they're well warmed up now as they approach the 10th fence here. So Bold Endeavour coming down towards it with a lead of a couple of lengths. Harry Cobden on Oscar Elite, a little bit lower over that one. Kinondo Quetu on the inside for Jonathan England on board the Yorkshire Raider as they pass us with a circuit to go then, and now move across towards their point of departure on the far side. So Bold Endeavour leading by a couple of lengths then as he steers them round towards their departure point. Kinondo Quetu on the rail, Oscar Elite on the outside. Oscar Elite, a talented chaser who was placed in the Ultima Handicap chase at the festival last March. Jumped that alongside Kinondo Quetu as they looked on behind Bold Endeavour. So far they've all been pretty faultless. Let's hope that continues on the final circuit, and Nico asked Bold Endeavour for a big leap there, and he certainly got it. That was number 12. They're going down the hill towards the next open ditch. Nothing much has really happened yet. Ears pricked, Bold Endeavour leading Oscar Elite and Kinondo Quetu, who's right behind them. And again, all 3 were good there. The last fence on this part of the course as they continue to race on the downhill part of the course. It's number 14. Oh, what a leap there by the leader, Bold Endeavour. It was almost too good. Gave it feet to spare, didn't he? And take them down towards the final mile of the contest now, with Bold Endeavour leading by 2 lengths. Kinondo Quetu just showing ahead now of Oscar Elite for second, but there's little between them, maybe a neck, as they start now to take in the uphill part of the course again. All uphill, in fact, all the way up to the finishing line here now at Ascot. Bold Endeavour, the leader, coming up towards the 15th fence. Oscar Elite still travelling okay, so too is Kinondo Quetu, so it's unfolding to be quite an interesting contest. This is 5 out now, and again all 3 were good. There's only 2 lengths between the 3 of them. The trio going down towards the last open ditch of the contest now. Bold Endeavour, again, good there. So too Oscar Elite, likewise. Kinondo Quetu on the inside. And all 3 jockeys must be pretty happy with the way they're going as they go to the last on this far side there. Getting in tight there was Oscar Elite. But Bold Endeavour continues to pour it on from the front and takes them round towards the turn into the straight. 3 furlongs left to go. 2 more fences left to take in the Reynoldstown. Bold Endeavour trying to make every yard. Oscar Elite trying to lay down a challenge. Kinondo Quetu, that unbeaten record is on the line now. They're coming up towards the second last here. Bold Endeavour and Oscar Elite. They nicked a length out of Kinondo Quetu, who just blundered over that second last. Maybe he's getting weary. And now for the first time, Oscar Elite strikes the front. Bold Endeavour is trying to rally on the inside. It's all on the final fence here. Oscar Elite and Bold Endeavour. Oscar Elite on the near side, put in a terrific leap there, and he's scampering clear on the run-in. And Oscar Elite, a horse that had promised before, is going to deliver today and take the Grade 2 Reynoldstown. For Harry Cobden and Joe Tizard, wins by about 6 lengths from Bold Endeavour, and Kinondo Quetu defeated for the first time, a pretty tired third. Here we go then for the LK Bennett Swinley Handicap Chase. This Premier Handicap is underway, and Farinet was keen to get a good start, takes them down to the first of 20 fences, out jumped there by Danny Kirwan. All jumped okay. Revels Hill a little bit slow in the rear of the field as they move down the hill towards the second. Riders on the Storm is amongst the leading trio as well, followed by Nocte Valatus. At this stage, One True King has been taken off his feet, a little bit detached from the main group as they move on down the hill towards the open ditch. On the inside, Farinet, the grey, Shane Quinlan. On the outside, Riders on the Storm and Nick Schofield. Oh, and Farinet dived at that, made a mess of that fence. Danny Kirwan is tracking on the inside, followed by Nocte Valatus. Cap du Nord in the black and pink is next. And then the Wolf in the sheepskin noseband, the pale blue colours, tracked on the inside then by Phoenix Way in the green cap with the white star. JP's got 3 in this contest, of course, as they make their way down towards the turn at what looks to be a pretty good pace. You know, they're already about 15 lengths separating first and last. Regal Encore, the Ascot legend, is in the middle of the field at this stage in the red cap, just tracking Revels Hill. Sporting John is in the white cap. He's on the outside then of Dorking Lad. Towards the back is Laskelin, and One True King is still at the rear as they cross over the first fence up the side of the course. And Riders on the Storm, first time at 3 miles today, is being ridden as though he's going to stay all day here, and he popped over that one ahead of Farinet in second. They're all safely over. Moving on towards the next open ditch of the race. Riders on the Storm, Farinet over 2 lengths down, Danny Kirwan, Nocte Valatus, the Wolf on the outside of Cap du Nord. And then comes Neon Moon ahead of Revels Hill. Phoenix Way next with Regal Encore. Dorking Lad is next as they cross over the last fence on this part of the course. One True King has overtaken Sporting John, who jumped that slowly and just seems to be labouring a touch, Sporting John, in this early part of the race. Laskelin is the one that brings up the rear. But he's now beginning to make up some progress on the outside as they turn in. But they have gone a pretty strong gallop for the first part of this race. They're coming up the home straight for the first time in the LK Bennett Swinley Handicap Chase, and Riders on the Storm is clear by about 5 lengths. In second is Danny Kirwan in the pink cap ahead of the grey Farinet. Cap du Nord is sitting pretty in 4th place with Nocte Valatus next to the rail, the turquoise cap. The Wolf follows him as they cross over the last fence, the 10th, and a faller there by Regal Encore is gone at that fence. He's all right though, which is galloping on. Aiden is down and is about to rise, but Regal Encore, a blemish on his Ascot record. Let's hope we see him again one day, but he's out of the race that he won back in 2018. So a circuit to go then in the LK Bennett Swinley Handicap Chase, being led across towards their starting point here by Riders on the Storm. They've settled down a bit now. That was a pretty frenetic first circuit. Danny Kirwan is racing in second, Farinet third, Cap du Nord alongside Nocte Velardis next to the rail. The Wolf is on the outside. Laskelin, who was outpaced early on, is slowly working his way into the race. Phoenix Way is on the inside going well. Neon Moon comes next. Revels Hill and Dorking Lad together. Sporting John seems to be travelling a little more kindly now alongside One True King, and all of a sudden, having been spread out across Berkshire, they've now only got about 8 or 9 lengths between them. So they're heading down the hill towards the open ditch, which is number 13. Riders on the Storm's lead is much reduced, being held together in the cheek pieces, joined by Danny Kirwan on the outside. Farinet, the Wolf, continuing to travel well just behind them. So too Cap du Nord in the hands of Jack Tudor in the black jacket and the pink check sleeves and cap as they take the last fence on this part of the course. That was at number 14 of the 20. Just watching Phoenix Way getting a little bit closer there on the inside for Lorcan Murta, just tracking Cap du Nord at this stage. The Wolf is on his outside. Neon Moon, the least experienced of the lineup, is improving slightly. Revels Hill just being squeezed along. So too One True King, who's never really got a blow in just yet. Laskelin, having got back into a better position, is struggling again. Dorking Lad is at the back of the field with Sporting John as they cross over the next fence. Heading up the hill then, Riders on the Storm. On the outside, Danny Kirwan giving himself plenty of room, who joined in for the lead there. Cap du Nord getting closer all the time. Nocte Velardis and Stan Shepherd in the noseband on the inside is next. Here's the last open ditch of the race. It's 4 out here. Danny Kirwan has struck the front, but only narrowly. Riders on the Storm is close up with him though, and alongside him again. Look at Cap du Nord though as they go to the third last. He's in there pitching with the Wolf, who's been travelling well throughout. Neon Moon is running a blinder. He's closed up on them and is in 5th place. Then Phoenix Way. Nocte Velardis has lost his place and being driven. Then Revels Hill. One True King is staying on from the back. Dorking Lad behind him. So they're turning into the home straight, and Riders on the Storm is being joined on the outside by Cap du Nord and Jack Tudor, who seems to be full of running, with Neon Moon likewise, and Philip Armstrong on the outside as they cross 2 out, and Neon Moon hit that. Danny Kirwan has brought down Dorking Lad, went out of contention. Both horses and jockeys up on their feet okay. The final fence coming up. Cap du Nord coming down towards it now, beginning to assert his superiority. Got it a bit low, but he's 2-3 lengths clear now, Cap du Nord. And Jack Tudor is driving Cap du Nord out to an easy win here in the end. Christian Williams lands a big pot here at Ascot as Cap du Nord goes on to win for the Can't Say No partnership. Neil Moon runs a blinder in second. Revels Hill just third ahead of the Wolf. Then Phoenix Way, and never nearer One True King in 6th. That's it, they're off for the Ascot Racecourse Supports box for kids handicap hurdle class 2. 50 ball as we expected. Off to a good start. So too wider is Caleb. Just taking just a little bit keen, Caleb, not too bad though. Right behind them is Glyn, who jumped that alongside the grey Irish Hill. In touch as well in the blue jacket, Samari, the stable companion of Irish Hill, with En Publique in the pink cap on the outside of these. Followed then on the inside by Zoffany Bay. They've taken the first 2 flights without any incident at all. Zoffany Bay making his comeback after nearly 2 years off. He's just ahead then of En Publique, Petit Tonnerre, Thibaut in the black and orange colours. As they make their way down towards us, Too Friendly in the yellow jacket. Whizkid just tracking Thibaut, and J-Lo has been dropped out in the hands of Shane Quinlan. We need to give Venetia Williams a quick follow-up to the big success up there at Haydock Park. So they're turning round to the home straight, being led by 50 ball, defending his unbeaten record of 2 starts here over hurdles at Ascot. And he jumped it just over a length clear of Glyn in second place. Irish Hill is the grey on the inside there. Harry Cobden in the green and red colours. Near side is Caleb, the green and yellow. Jack Quinlan, the man on board. These are the leading 4. Just ahead then of Samarive, En Publique on the near side. Cheek pieces on the inside is Zoffany Bay. Followed by Petit Tonnerre, Thibaut, Too Friendly. Whizkid at the back. And J-Lo well in touch. They've gone fairly steadily, to be honest. There's only 7 or 8 lengths between them as they pass the judge now with a full circuit to travel, having jumped 4 of the 10 flights so far in this class 2 event. So 50 ball takes them away from us, with Glyn racing in second place. 50 Ball and Niall Houlihan and Glyn and Nico de Boinville. Irish Hill, Harry Cobden, the grey, with Caleb on the outside, close up in the hands of Jack Quinlan. They're getting ready for the first flight down the back straight. Samarive jumped that nicely. Freddie Gingell on board it, alongside On Public, who's still travelling strongly. Zoffany Bay is on the inside, Thibault's on the outer, Petit Tonnerre, the JP colours. Green and gold hoops, white cap, wider out to Wizkid in the red cap, then on the inner, Too Friendly and J-Lo in no hurry as they cross over the sixth flight. One of them just flattened that. It might have been Zoffany Bay, but no momentum loss whatsoever. But that flight of hurdles was knocked to the ground. So they're all travelling well, all 12 runners going comfortably enough then. Well past the halfway stage of the race now, moving down towards Swinley Bottom. They got 4 more flights left to take, quite a run before they leave the ground again. And 50 Ball still takes them round that bottom turn, leads by a neck. Glyn close up, followed by Caleb on the outside of On Public, and Irish Hill, who hugs the inside rail then. Right behind them, Zoffany Bay on the inside, wider out, making a bit of a move now. Wizkid, Luke Scott on the outside, the red cap runner. Thibault, black and orange colours, trying to follow through. Samarive still in there in the middle of the field, alongside Zoffany Bay. J-Lo just improving slightly now as they crossed over that, but was out jumped there by Petit Tonnerre, and John Joe Jr. makes a little bit of progress now. Too Friendly with a bit to do as well, and now they're jostling for challenging positions. They go over the third last there. They all jumped it pretty well. J-Lo wasn't as clean as his rider would have wanted though. They're moving up then the hill towards the final 3.5 furlongs of the contest. Still before a run before they get to the second last flight. 50 Ball the leader. Nothing much has changed up front. Glyn has been pressing him throughout. On the outside, Caleb is being shaken up now. And then Irish Hill on the rail. Wizkid, On Public, and now Petit Tonnerre is getting into the thick of things. Spot the white cap, green and yellow hoops. On the inside, Zoffany Bay. Samarive is angling for a run. Too Friendly is travelling well behind them. A lot of chances, 2 out. Irish Hill has come smoothly through though and has taken over all of a sudden. He's picked up really well the grey. Chased by the Irish train, Zoffany Bay up the inner, down the centre, Petit Tonnerre. Here they come to the final flight now. Irish Hill put in a great leap there, led over it by a couple of lengths. Zoffany Bay, Samarive with on the outside Too Friendly and Petit Tonnerre, but Irish Hill is doing best in the closing stages here, being driven out towards the line, and Irish Hill is going to come and take it for Harry Cobden and Paul Nicholls. Zoffany Bay has run really well after a break second. Samarive next, tight for fourth between Too Friendly and Petit Tonnerre. Coming in towards the start then for this Betfair Ascot chase, and they're off. Racing away down the hill towards the first of 17 fences in this 2 mile 5 furlong Grade 1 Betfair Ascot chase. Wright and Pic Dory sure to make this a good test. They rose in front together there with Fakir Duderi on the outside of First Flow. Miller's Bank on the inside. Shishkin held on to by Nico de Boinville. The back 4 racing together actually behind the 2 leaders as they take the bottom turn. So Wright, the Scottish raider, is the one that takes them up towards the far side, with Pic Dory just over a length down in second, and the other 4 runners in a bit of a clutch behind them. First Flow in the black and green colours, the noseman maybe just showing third ahead of Miller's Bank. Shishkin, who jumped that beautifully, and Fakir Duderi, the defending champion. JJ Slevin in the saddle today as they cross over the next and move up now towards their first open ditch of the contest. Wright and Ryan Mania from Pic Dory. Harry Cobden on the outside, behind them on the rail then Miller's Bank, Johnny Burke. First Flow is still taking a little bit of a keen hold in this early part of the race. Shishkin on his outside together with Fakir Duderi. So far they're all jumping beautifully as they turn in to the home straight for the first time here. Only 3 lengths would cover them as they come up towards us now. Wright on the inside. On the outside of him is Pic Dory, who's been in fantastic form so far this season. As they come to the first in the home straight, Wright got in tight there. Oh, and we've lost one. First Flow is unseated David Bass at fence number 6. got it all wrong. What a pity. First flow, he's continuing riderless, and Dave is just about to get to his feet. So we're down to 5. There was a mistake there by Miller's Bank at that fence. Not one of his more fluent jumps, that's for sure. So as they come up towards us, it's Pic Dory the leader by about half a length to I right. Shishkin moves up into third. He's about 2 lengths clear of Fakir Duderi on the outside of Miller's Bank. And the loose horse First Flow pursuing them. Yeah, Dave Bass has just walked off the course, which is good news. So the runners racing then towards the final 1.5 miles of the contest. Pic Dory now moving ahead of I right. Shishkin, who's been impressing so far, as they go towards the first down the far side. Fakir Duderi 2 lengths behind Shishkin, with on the inside Miller's Bank. Harry Cobden setting his stall out here now. He's having taken up the running on Pic Dory. Jumped it well. Shishkin's jumping so far has been absolutely tip-top, exemplary as they move down the hill on towards the 10th fence. Another open ditch. I right still clinging on to the 2 leaders. Fakir Duderi keeping wide there for JJ Slevin. And then Miller's Bank just struggling to go the pace, it would seem, and he got in tight there as well. Down they go to the final fence on the far side, number 11. Pic Dory the leader. Shishkin, though, not allowing him too much slack. He's up to within half a length of him, even alongside him there as they took that. Nico's travelling strongly. Behind them, the other 3, Miller's Bank, I right and Fakir Duderi. Is just biding his time at this moment as they move down inside the final mile of the contest now. Promises to be a crackerjack of a finish, this one. Pic Dory the leader. Shishkin moving sweetly in second. Now Fakir Duderi moves up on the outside of I right, and Miller's Bank in there pitching on the inside. They've got 4 fences up this side of the course to take here. Pic Dory, ears pricked over the next. Shishkin chasing him in second place. And these 2 have opened up now by a couple of lengths then to Fakir Duderi, I right and Miller's Bank. Here's the next there, and Pic Dory put down at it, but he got away with it okay. They got 4 more fences left to take. The open ditch is next, and Shishkin is looming up on the outside of Pic Dory. Fakir Duderi is now beginning to think about closing on them. Just a shake of the reins there from JJ. Back in fourth, I right. Miller's Bank is beaten. They're up towards the the last fence on this part of the course. Pic Dory and Shishkin rose at it together. They're locked together, and they've all of a sudden kicked about 5 clear of Fakir Duderi as they race up towards the home straight here. Pic Dory and Shishkin look as though they're going to fight it out, perhaps. 2 fences left to go, but Fakir Duderi is a battler, and he's trying to come back at them. They're coming up to the second last here in the Betfair Ascot chase. Shishkin on the near side from Pic Dory, together in the air. Shishkin just in front. Fakir Duderi made a mistake. 6 lengths to find. Now they come down towards the final fence, and Shishkin, who's been travelling like a dream throughout so far, is beginning to open up. Here's the final fence. Shishkin over it safely, up by about 6-7 lengths, and he's beginning to draw clear in the closing stages. And this is the Shishkin we know and love. The real Shishkin is back with a vengeance to win the Betfair Ascot chase for Nico de Boinville, who salutes the crowd, and Nicky Henderson. Pic Dory well beaten off. So too Fakir Duderi, I right and Miller's Bank 4th and 5th. Away they go, and Warranty Indeed has jumped off with them, which is good news. So the 12 runners setting off on their near 3-mile journey here for the age-concerned Bracknell Handicap hurdle. Pink jacket of Danny Whizbang takes them down towards the first of 11 flights here. Close up, Zestful Hope on the inside, the white face of Thomas Moore as they cross over the first flight of hurdles. Tracking them in the dark blue cut, the black colours with the pink hoop sleeves there is Yes, No, Maybe So. Cameron Isles in the saddle alongside Warranty, who's tucked in with them now, wider out to Huntsman's Jog. In the middle of the field then Apple Rock is alongside Imphal as they race on down the hill with Old Town Guard in the maroon and white quarter jacket. Ludemold held up as usual, racing together there with It's So Fury, who's on the inside, wider out than Huntsman's Jog, and looking on Ivaldi, who's normally keen in his races, and again taking a little bit of a grip, but settled at the back of the field there by Harry Cobden as the runners head round the bottom turn now. So coming up the side of the course then, Thomas Moore's white face on the inside in the hands of Tom O'Brien. Zestful Hope and Adrian Heskin down the centre in the blue sleeves and blue cap. And they were tracked over that flight of hurdles by Danny Whizbang in the pink colours on the outside. Still handy as well is Yes, No, Maybe So. Sitting just behind these leaders is Warranty on the wide outside there, together there with Old Town Guard in the maroon and white quarters. Ludemold is in no hurry, just tracking Infoul in the white cap, orange and green quarter jacket. Tucked away on the inner, It's So Fury. Still at the back of the field and carrying his head low is Ivaldi, who's Harry Cobden is just trying to keep nice and settled. And as they come round towards the home straight, then they're squaring up towards the 4th and 5th flights. So Thomas Moore the leader, Zestful Hope on the outside, only about a neck down, with Yes, No, Maybe So tracking them. Wider up, then we've got Danny Whizbang in the pink. On his inside is Old Town Guard. Apple Rock is getting a little bit closer now. Blue with the white spots. Oh, a bad mistake by Infoul. That was a great sit, that one, by Niall Houlihan. All but down there, Infoul, but he recovered and he's racing in the middle of the field, just ahead there of Warranty and Huntsman's Jog on the outside. They're up towards the last flight on the circuit. And at the back of the field there, Ivaldi wasn't the most fluent, but he's continuing to carry his head low to the turf. So up towards the judge then with a full circuit to go. This Class 3 age-concerned Bracknell Handicap hurdle, part of the Challenger Stayers Hurdle Series. And out in front is Thomas Moore, leading from Zestful Hope in second. Yes, No, Maybe So is on the rail. He's close up in third. Old Town Guard is next. Then Danny Whizbang, Apple Rock on the rail. Ludemold has been no hurry as usual. In form, green jacket there with Warranty behind him. It's So Fury. Infoul's got 2 behind him. And they are still Huntsman's Jog and Ivaldi. They've been last but one and last throughout this race so far. Taking the next flight then, number 6. They jumped this one only the once on this occasion. All over safely enough. The pace just beginning to lift a little bit perhaps as they race on past their point of departure and head down towards the 7th flight down the far side. Still little to choose between Thomas Moore and Zestful Hope. Danny Whizbang still getting a good look at his hurdles on the outside. Yes, No, Maybe So has been travelling well throughout too for Cameron Isles. Then just improving slightly Old Town Guard. With him is Warranty. On the inside is Apple Rock, Luca Morgan, 4-timer, seeking Apple Rock, who's just been tracked then by the green jacket of Ludemold, equally in form. It's So Fury, covered up still by Johns Jr. Warranty on the outside, Infoul, Huntsman's Jog being shuffled along briefly there, and Ivaldi still travelling strongly at the back of the field, still carrying his head low to the ground. He's a character, but he's talented, Ivaldi, and he's last at the moment as he steps up in trip today. So they've got 4 more flights left to take, racing towards the final 3/4 of a mile in this Class 3 handicap hurdle. Still Thomas Moore on the inside, Zestful Hope on the outside. The challengers, though, look to be travelling pretty well. There was a mistake there by Yes, No, Maybe So. Not too serious, though. Getting into it now. There goes Old Town Guard in the maroon and white quarter jacket. They're up towards the 3rd last flight now. Zestful Hope and Thomas Moore still having a great duel for the lead here. Thomas Moore just emerging with a slight advantage on the flat. Behind them still improving is Old Town Guard. And look at Ludemold has got into 3rd place very quickly, very smoothly there for Toby Wynn. He's now disputing 2nd place, and as they turn towards the judge inside the final 3 furlongs, 2 more flights to go. Thomas Moore and Tom O'Brien asking more on Thomas Moore as they race up towards the 2nd last. On the outside is Ludemold, who's got there pretty impressively. Here's the 2nd last, Thomas Moore, finding a bit more for pressure. Ludemold is pressing him hard now. They kick clear of the others. It's So Fury battling on into 3rd place alongside Zestful Hope. But 1 more flight to go now for Thomas Moore. Oh, and he jumped that really splendidly. Still leads by 3 lengths. Ludemold is giving chase up the straight here. Thomas Moore holding him. Ludemold is trying one more time on the far side, but Thomas Moore is going to make virtually every yard of the running. Another boost for the Challow hurdle form as he wins for Tom O'Brien and David Pipe. Ludemold 2nd, It's So Fury, and Old Ivaldi moving into 4th place. They're often racing for this British European Breeders' Fund EBF Mare's Bumper, and Indian Tiger in the orange and red colours, who made all to win at Ludlow last month, takes them along through the first furlong. On the outside, the yellow cap of Politacus. Bethka is taking a little bit of a hold, the green and yellow colours. Ahead there of Springwell in the red starred cap, who's racing together with Mighty Moth in the black jacket. Between Waters, the favourite in the black and white striped cap, is on the inside of the course at this stage, in a share of 6th place really, with on the wide outside Golden Ace, who's restrained in the blue and maroon colours. K Tara Tara, the one that's in between them. And further back in the field then, in the blue and yellow stripes, we've got Birdhouse, the chestnut mare, on the inside. Whispering Gold and Tara's Light towards the back of the field as well, with the blue jacket on the inside rail there. In fact, we've lost one here. One of them has been pulled up injured. I beg your pardon. It's number 10, Tara's Light, has been pulled up through the first furlong and is out of the race, sadly. Whispering Gold is the one in the lighter green jacket, and the white-faced mare is at the back of the field. Just continuing to call them through. The Aurnell at the back in the blue colours, taking a little bit of a hold in the rear of the field, together with Chesky's in Milan, white jacket with the red sleeves. And then at the back as well is Mistral Millie, as they move away down the far side. So the pace being set here by Indian Tiger. They've got about just over a mile and a quarter to travel here. In second place, Bethka, sharing that position with Politacus. And then on the inside is Between Waters. Covered up behind them as well is Springwell in the hands of Tom O'Brien, looking for a quick double. Mighty Moth on the outside there, Robbie Dunn in the black jacket. On the inside, Birdhouse in the striped jacket is next. Golden Ace, who won at Wincanton, is in the rear of the field, together there with K Tara Tara. Then towards the back still is Aurnell, restrained there, together with Chesky's in Milan. Wider up then to Whispering Gold, and last of all is Mistral Millie. Going through Swinley Bottom, inside the final 3/4 of a mile about now then, about 8 lengths between first and last. And still Indian Tiger and Connor Ring taking the field along then as they race on up the hill now. Leads by just over a length. Close up in second place. On the inside there, Politacus. Bethcar still got a good position. Just improving a little bit on the outside now is Golden Ace. The white face there of Whispering Gold is getting a little bit closer. Likewise, Between Waters is on the inner, just being nudged along briefly now to start improving as they go past the 4 furlong marker. Still a lot with chances here as they make their way down towards the entrance of the home straight. Indian Tiger the leader. Bethka the Grey's gone second. Golden Ace now moves up past Politacus to go third. Between Waters and Mighty Moth are next in the pack, followed by then the improving K Tara Tara in the white cap. Up the inside is Birdhouse waiting for the split. Down the home straight they come, just over a quarter of a mile left to go. Indian Tiger has been headed now, and Politacus is kicking on and begins now to be joined on the outside by Golden Ace. Between Waters is flat out on the inside. The big danger behind the 2 leaders is K Tara Tara, has produced a good turn of foot to get competitive. Just over a furlong left to go here as they race now in the closing stages. Politacus is the leader by 2 lengths. K Tara Tara and Mighty Moth. Politacus then and Liam Harrison are gamely clinging on here, and Politacus goes on to score by a couple of lengths. Then K Tara Tara, Mighty Moth, Mistral Millie stayed on well for 4th, ahead of Golden Ace in 5th, and then Between Waters 6th.
The outcome of race 7. First, number 8, Politacus. Second, number 3. Third, number 6. And the 4th placed horse, number 15.